What if I told you the NFL once had a team that won the championship only 5 years into their existence, and their star player was a wrestling heavyweight champion? What's up, guys? It's Colin from Next Man Up, and today I want to talk about a team that's been lost in the NFL's history books. And I promise you, the stories I have to tell about this team are better than you could ever imagine. Let's go back, and I mean way back, all the way back to 1916. The 1910s featured a life before the invention of the Band-Aid or the cheeseburger, but what they did have was some football. This is when Charles Coppin created a team based out of Providence, Rhode Island, called the Providence Steamrollers. By the mid-1920s, the Steamrollers had built up a fan base in the area, and they were getting double the attendance of Brown University, who played right down the street. Around this time, the Steamrollers started scheduling teams playing in the NFL, and they dominated those matchups. They even beat a team known as the Dayton Triangles, who you guys probably know as the Indianapolis Colts. And then later they would go on to win the Undisputed Championship of the Northeast, a title that means absolutely nothing based on copious amounts of research, but the fans felt like they were ready to step it up and join the NFL. The next year, in 1925, they were officially a team in the National Football League. The roster looked a lot different than the year before though, as they only brought back 3 players from the previous year. As you can imagine, things didn't go so well for our Steamrollers, as they only won 11 total games in the next 2 years combined. So how did the Steamrollers find their success? Well, they looked to find a new head coach, and the man for the job was Jim Conzelman. He played quarterback for Washington University, not the Huskies, the D3 school in St. Louis, but still he had experience. And not only did the Steamrollers recruit him to coach, as he was a close friend of the great George Halas, he was actually going to run QB for the Steamrollers as well. That's right, Providence was going to let their coach run QB, and he was pretty damn good at it. The Steamrollers paid Conzelman $292 a game, which is pretty big in this era. They paid him to double up and lead the Steamrollers in any way possible, but their star player was actually a man who went by the name Wildcat. Wildcat Wilson was a star running back at the University of Washington. Yes, this time we're talking about the Huskies. And he was the leading rusher on the Steamrollers that wasn't looking to pass the ball very often. The next year, in the 27-28 season, the Steamrollers went on to post an 8-1-2 record, and they were awarded NFL champions before the days of the Super Bowl. In that offseason after their championship run, 5 players were given All-NFL honors, one of them being Gus Sonnenberg. Now, Sonnenberg played football at Dartmouth and Detroit Mercy in college before he joined the Steamrollers, and he was a stud halfback despite only being 5'7". Shout out Boston Scott. And while Sonnenberg was playing football in Providence, he began professionally training in wrestling, where he debuted in 1928. So after successfully earning an NFL championship, he lost to Ed Strangler Lewis for the heavyweight title. After his loss, Sonnenberg would come back to the Steamrollers before eventually getting a rematch against the Strangler once again, which he would win and officially become the World Heavyweight Champion. And shortly after Sonnenberg became the champ, the Steamrollers took a big hit. Sonnenberg left the team for good to continue wrestling, and their QB/coach Conzelman couldn't recover from a knee injury he got in that 28 season. With all the adversity Providence had faced, it didn't help that Wildcat Wilson fell to mediocrity in his later years, which really got fans out of the stands. In 1930, when the Great Depression was in full swing, the ownership stepped away and the Steamrollers were no more. The Steamrollers do live on in the history books, with 2 Hall of Famers to show for, one being Conzelman and one being the short-term running back Fritz Pollard. And to this day, the Providence Steamrollers hold a place in a lot of New Englanders' hearts, being the original New England football team before the Patriots came along. Not to mention, the Providence Steamrollers are somewhat revived. There's actually a semi-pro basketball team called the Providence Steamrollers, obviously based in Providence, and they're still running to this day. They do pay homage to the original Steamrollers, they wear their same colors, but New Englanders will tell you it's not the same to have them on the court instead of the field. Like any team that played in the 1920s, it can be hard to find some information on the Steamrollers, but if you do your own research, the NFL has some really good articles on them, as well as other sources across the internet. The Steamrollers have some really funny stories, and the way they came up as a squad is really interesting as well, so I suggest you check that out if you're interested. With that being said, it doesn't look like the NFL is coming back to Providence anytime soon. The Patriots do have that one covered, but it's fun to imagine a world where the Steamrollers still ran the NFL today. So guys, let me know, do you remember the Providence Steamrollers? Because I sure didn't. Thank you guys for watching, and please, if you do your research or you just have a favorite from the video, comment down your favorite Providence Steamroller in the comment section. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace out.